First story, Whispers in the Pines by Sarah Williams. The dense forest of Blackwood National Park in Oregon always held a mysterious allure for me. I worked there as a park ranger, maintaining trails and ensuring the safety of the visitors. One gloomy autumn afternoon, as the thick mist clung to the trees, I sat out on my routine patrol. The rustle of leaves beneath my boots and the distant calls of unseen creatures formed a familiar symphony. However, that day, a new sound joined the chorus. The soft whisper of voices. Initially dismissing it as a trick of the wind, I continued my trek, only for the whispers to persist. As I ventured deeper into the woods, the voices grew clearer, almost discernible. They spoke in hushed tones, as if conspiring. I couldn't make out the words, but the sinister cadence sent shivers down my spine. Every attempt to locate the source proved futile. Unease settled in my chest like an unwelcome guest. The forest, once my sanctuary, now felt like a labyrinth of secrets. My flashlight cast long, eerie shadows that danced along the twisted trunks. The voices, meanwhile, seemed to surround me, an unseen audience to my every move. The trail led me to a clearing where the moon's feeble light barely penetrated the thick canopy. In the center, a circle of mushrooms sprawled like a sinister invitation. The whispers crescendoed, morphing into a chorus of unintelligible chants. Panic clawed at me, urging me to flee, but an invisible force rooted me to the spot. Then, from the shadows, emerged figures draped in tattered robes, their faces concealed, only hollow sockets stared back at me. The forest fell silent, as if nature itself held its breath. The strangers encircled the mushroom formation, their chanting escalating into an otherworldly hum. The ground trembled beneath me as the mushrooms pulsated with an unnatural energy. I felt an invisible tether pulling at my very essence. The air thickened, charged with an ominous electricity. Fear and fascination battled within me, urging me to flee and stay simultaneously. As the crescendo reached its peak, a blinding light enveloped the clearing. For an agonizing moment, time seemed suspended. Then, as swiftly as it began, the light vanished. The robed figures, the mushrooms, and the whispers, all gone. I stumbled backward, disoriented and shaken. The forest, now eerily silent, felt changed. The once familiar trails twisted into unfamiliar paths, leading me away from the clearing. The voices, now a distant echo, lingered in the air. Blackwood National Park remained an enigma, concealing secrets beyond human comprehension. The whispers in the pines haunted my nights, a reminder of the inexplicable encounter that forever altered my perception of the forest's depths. Second story, Solitude's Echo by James Mitchell. Solitude became my constant companion after I moved to a remote cabin nestled on the outskirts of the Bavarian forest in Germany. The dense thicket surrounded my haven, offering a semblance of peace. Yet, within the tranquility, an unsettling echo lurked, an echo that transcended the boundaries of nature. One crisp morning, as frost adorned the trees like delicate lace, I decided to embark on a solitary trek through the silent woods. The snow beneath my boots muffled any noise, creating an illusion of isolation. However, as I ventured deeper, the echo of footsteps mirrored my every move. Turning in futile attempts to catch a glimpse of the unseen follower, my senses heightened. The forest, once serene, became a labyrinth of paranoia. My breath formed misty clouds in the frigid air, a testament to the growing tension. The echo persisted, an uncanny mimicry of my solitary journey. As the day waned, shadows stretched across the snow, and an unrelenting sense of dread settled in. The echo evolved into disconcerting whispers, carrying fragments of conversation, snippets of my own thoughts, spoken in a voice not my own. My solitude morphed into a distorted reflection, and the forest seemed to harbor an entity intent on unraveling my sanity. The trail led me to an ancient oak, its gnarled branches reaching for the overcast sky. The whispers grew louder, resonating from within the tree's weathered bark. A hollow cavity at its base beckoned me, a portal into the heart of the enigma. Curiosity battled fear as I descended into the earthly chamber. The whispers intensified, weaving a tale of ancient rites and forgotten rituals. Illuminated by the dim light of my lantern, the underground chamber revealed symbols etched into the walls, symbols that mirrored the ones in my recurring nightmares. The echo, now a cacophony, reverberated through the chamber, distorting reality. Shadows danced on the walls, taking shape as phantoms from the past. A spectral congregation gathered, their eyes reflecting an ancient malevolence. With a sudden jolt, the echoes ceased, plunging the chamber into profound silence. The forest's pulse synchronized with my erratic heartbeat. As I ascended from the abyss, the echo lingered, a phantom presence in the stillness. Solitude's echo became an ever-present companion, a reminder that the forest retained memories and secrets buried in its depths. The whispers persisted, urging me to decipher the cryptic messages echoing through time. The Bavarian forest, once a sanctuary, now held the key to a mystifying enigma that transcended the boundaries of my understanding. Third story, Fungi's Embrace by Elena Rodriguez. The quaint town of Brazov, in the heart of Romania, cradled the Carpathian Mountains, and within their shadows lay a mystical forest. I found myself drawn to the ancient woodland, armed with a wicker basket and a desire to collect the elusive black trumpet mushrooms that flourished beneath the towering pines. As I ventured deeper into the forest, the air became thick with the earthy aroma of decaying foliage. The sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, casting an ethereal glow on the moss-covered ground. The silence was palpable, broken only by the soft crunch of leaves beneath my boots. The black trumpets, resembling dark funnels, hid amidst the underbrush like elusive treasures. Each discovery filled my basket, and a sense of accomplishment swelled within me. However, the forest seemed to pulse with an energy that transcended the mundane act of foraging. A peculiar stillness settled over the woods, and an eerie mist unfurled, cloaking the ancient trees in a spectral embrace. The atmosphere crackled with an otherworldly tension, as if the forest itself watched with silent anticipation. As I continued my harvest, an unsettling sensation crept over me. The shadows seemed to elongate, contorting into grotesque shapes that danced at the periphery of my vision. Whispers, too faint to be coherent, rustled through the leaves, carrying an ancient lament. A clearing opened before me, bathed in an ominous half-light. In its center stood a circle of mushrooms, their caps pulsating with an eerie luminescence. A magnetic force drew me closer, and I felt a strange compulsion to step within the circle. The moment my foot crossed the threshold, the forest erupted into a symphony of dissonant whispers. The mushrooms trembled in response, weaving an intricate dance of light and shadow. Reality itself seemed to warp, and the boundary between the mundane and the supernatural blurred. Within the flickering light, spectral figures materialized, ethereal guardians of the forest. Their eyes glowed with ancient wisdom, and they gestured in a silent communion. The whispers coalesced into a melody that echoed through the ages, a lament for the forgotten tales woven into the fabric of the woodland. Suddenly, the figures converged, merging into a towering entity that loomed above the circle. The forest exhaled a collective breath, and a profound stillness settled in. The entity, a guardian of the black trumpets, bestowed upon me a vision, a glimpse into the symbiotic dance between the forest and its caretakers. As I stepped back from the mystical circle, the whispers subsided, and the guardian dissipated like morning mist. The forest resumed its serene facade, as if the encounter existed only in the recesses of a dream. Yet, the black trumpets in my basket pulsed with a newfound vitality, a tangible link to the ancient pact forged amidst the whispers and the luminescent embrace of fungi. Brazov's mystical forest, once a mere backdrop to my mushroom forays, now held a secret alliance with forces beyond mortal understanding, a connection that transcended the mundane act of collecting mushrooms and plunged me into the heart of an ancient covenant with the woodlands' elusive guardians. Fourth story, Ephemeral Shadows by Thomas Anders. Nestled in the heart of the Pacific Northwest, the old-growth forest of sequoia pines beckoned me with its towering trees and the promise of solitude. As an avid trail runner, I often sought the therapeutic embrace of nature to escape the hustle of city life. Little did I know that a seemingly routine evening run would unravel the fabric of my reality. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting elongated shadows that stretched through the ancient forest. My footsteps reverberated through the silence as the canopy above filtered the fading light. A sense of tranquility settled within me, amplified by the rhythmic cadence of my breath and the soft crunch of leaves beneath my shoes. The trail wound deeper into the forest, and an indescribable unease clung to the air. The usual symphony of nocturnal creatures fell silent, and a thick mist curled around the tree trunks like ethereal fingers. A primal instinct tingled at the back of my mind, warning me of unseen eyes that watched from the shadows. As I quickened my pace, an otherworldly luminescence painted the trail ahead. Ephemeral shadows danced at the periphery of my vision, defying the laws of nature. My heart quickened, but an invisible force propelled me forward, deeper into the enigmatic heart of sequoia pines. A clearing emerged, bathed in an eerie glow. In its center stood an ancient stone altar, adorned with symbols that seemed to pulsate with a malevolent energy. The air thickened, and the forest held its breath, as if anticipating a ritual unseen by mortal eyes. Whispers, haunting and incomprehensible, echoed through the clearing. The shadows coalesced, forming ghostly figures that materialized with each breath. Their eyes gleamed with an otherworldly intelligence, and a collective voice emanated from the spectral assembly, recounting tales of forgotten rites and ancient pacts forged under the canopy of sequoia pines. Compelled by an unseen force, I stepped onto the stone altar. The shadows encircled me, their ghostly fingers tracing patterns in the air. The forest trembled, and the ground beneath me throbbed with an unnatural pulse. Reality itself unraveled as the whispers crescendoed into a maddening cacophony. A vortex of light enveloped me, and the forest dissolved into a kaleidoscope of shifting dimensions. Time lost its meaning, and I glimpsed the ephemeral nature of reality, a tapestry woven by forces beyond mortal comprehension. Suddenly, the vortex collapsed, depositing me back on the trail as if nothing had occurred. The ancient altar and spectral shadows vanished, leaving only the fading echo of ethereal whispers. Sequoia pines, once a haven of serenity, now held the lingering residue of a cosmic encounter that transcended the boundaries of my understanding. As I resumed my run, the forest whispered secrets to the wind, and the shadows danced beneath the moonlit canopy. Sequoia pines had become a nexus of the ephemeral, a place where the veil between worlds thinned, leaving me forever changed by the haunting echoes of that surreal evening run. Fifth story, Veiled Twilight by Emily Sinclair. In the quaint town of Ravens Hollow, nestled in the Appalachian Mountains, I found solace in the shadow of a foreboding forest. A rambling Victorian house stood sentinel at the forest's edge, its time-worn facade telling tales of decades long past. My decision to reside there, where the line between the mundane and the mysterious blurred, marked the beginning of an inexplicable journey. As dusk settled over Raven's Hollow, the forest embraced the encroaching darkness, casting long shadows that stretched towards my aging abode. The trees whispered secrets to the nocturnal wind, and the rustle of leaves carried an elusive promise, a promise of veiled mysteries concealed within the depths of the woods. My nightly routine unfolded like clockwork, unaware that each passing day added another layer to the unseen tapestry woven beyond my understanding. One fateful evening, as I sat by the fireplace, a soft knock echoed through the hollow halls of my home. The rhythmic tapping mirrored my heartbeat, inviting me to venture into the veiled twilight that clung to the forest outside. With trepidation, I stepped onto the porch, the creaking floorboards beneath my feet heralding my descent into the unknown. The forest, once a serene backdrop, now pulsed with an otherworldly energy. Shadows danced in the moonlight, their movements a cryptic ballet that mirrored the very essence of Raven's Hollow. As I delved into the heart of the forest, a spectral glow illuminated the path before me. The air thickened, charged with an arcane force that resonated with the whispering trees. A clearing emerged, bathed in ethereal light, and in its center stood a dilapidated altar, adorned with symbols that hinted at an ancient ritual long forgotten. The forest seemed to exhale, and the veil between reality and the supernatural thinned. A congregation of ethereal figures materialized, their faces obscured by veils of mist. The whispers intensified, narrating tales of a forgotten covenant between the house at the edge of Raven's Hollow and the enigmatic woodland. Compelled by an unseen force, I ascended the moss-covered steps of the altar. The figures encircled me, their eyes reflecting a collective wisdom that transcended mortal understanding. The air vibrated with an otherworldly resonance, and the boundary between the mundane and the mystical wavered. As the whispers reached a crescendo, the veiled figures dissolved into the night, leaving me standing alone in the clearing. The forest, now cloaked in silence, held the secrets of Raven's Hollow within its timeless embrace. The house, once a mere dwelling, had become a conduit between realms, a nexus where the threads of the supernatural interwove with the tapestry of my reality. As I returned to my home, the night air carried echoes of ancient incantations, and the whispers lingered in the corridors. Raven's Hollow, forever shrouded in veiled twilight, had revealed itself as a nexus of the mystical, a place where the past intertwined with the present, and the boundaries between the seen and the unseen dissolved like mist in the morning sun. Thanks for joining us on this chilling journey. The video on your screen is a personal favorite. It's a must-watch for any horror enthusiast. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button to support more daily frights. Which story gave you the most chills? Share your thoughts in the comments. And until next time, stay spooky.